Well, it's daybreak, still here on Horizons, in case you're just joining, and it's time for the press preview. A first look at what's on the front pages of the papers. Of course, we start usually with our sister publication this day, and this day on its front page says that how all war church killings, we just read about it a while ago, put 2023 Northern Presidency up in the air. It has about two riders there. It says ruling parties governors intensify moves for reconciliation and Southern Presidency. APC aspirants and last-minute push for alliances and mobilization. All right, and you see that picture where a massacre. I don't know who is in that picture, but the person seems to be wiping tears away. Buhari, APC set for third. Oh wait, it wasn't looking like a credit really. APC set for third straight victory since 2015. You can find that on, I think, page 10. All right, then we'll go. It says Buhari mobilizes killings or war killings. Outrage. Buhari mobilizes all state resources to neutralize attackers, curses them with about four riders. Maintains Nigeria will never give in to evil, wicked people. Akeredolu will hunt down assailants. Your empty threats are no longer working. Can't blast the president. Please donate blood to save lives. NMA urges Nigerians. Then just if you look at this day, the logo just below it, finally Nigeria Air to get operating license today. Power sector collapse imminent, stakeholders warn. Again, you can find it on page 10. Let's leave that's just for this day. Let's go to another paper.
The Punch newspaper is leading with gunmen disguised as worshippers massacre over 35 in Ondo Church. Primary, Buhari meets governors, party chairman, stakeholders as police tighten security in Abuja. 20 power plants suffer major problems, blackouts to worsen. That report is on page 20.
All right, The Nation, consensus candidate, our best option. Buhari insists with a rider, APC will win in third straight time. Petrol freight rate raises. How gunmen invaded our just the topmast church and killed many of learning from the Punch that they disguised as worshippers. Horrible. Fashola hands over houses to Kano beneficiaries. You can find that on page 37. Bad loans, mortgage bank, MFBs get 15-day deadline. And then just below the logo of The Nation, All Progressives Congress, a moment of decision.
And the Guardian newspaper is leading with scores killed, others abducted as gunmen attack Ondo Church. Decision day. APC backtracks on zoning as Buhari hosts party caucus. And APC promises hate-free convention as more than 2,000 delegates storm Abuja. And power sector collapse imminent. Stakeholders warn.
All right, that'll be it for the papers. We don't seem to have the international ones today, so we'll go straight to talk about. Okay, we have international papers. Ken.
Yeah, the Times. We've got the Times Queen's balcony message. This is the future of our monarchy.
All right, let's look at the Independent. Climate cost. Independent, yes. Climate cost of Sunak's tax breaks for fossil fuels. Queen spring surprise to 3 crowd. She came out eventually. I think that was in the last year.
Yeah.
All right. So to the next paper.
And the Daily Telegraph says, while I may not have attended every event in person, my heart's been with you all. That's the Queen.
That's the Queen. All right, Financial Times. Okay, IPO values plummet 90% in Europe and US as inflation and war take its toll. All right, so we bring in Emmanuel Bello. Emmanuel, let's now bring you in and we'll talk about the front page of this day newspaper. It says how or what church killings put 2023 Northern Presidency up in the air. Of course, you have the two riders there. It says ruling parties governors intensify moves for reconciliation and Southern Presidency, and APC aspirants in last minute push for alliances. Can you begin to, what sense do you make of this, how our church killings, put 2023 Northern Presidency up in the air?
Well, good morning, Kenneth. Good morning. One would have said that it's a bright new day, but because of the weekend, the bleak black Sunday that we all had, it's difficult to really have any joy. But then life goes on. And what this day is done to the Owo killing, it's amazing. It took it away from just what happened there, and then tied it with the politics that is going on. That's fun. That's amazing. I mean, not many people actually saw it through that prism. But what this they did was to widen the scope of that conversation, and also to deepen the issue. We are in the middle of presidential politics. So anything that happens, whether it is the Owo killing, remember when Deborah happened in Sokoto, whether you like it or not, it touched, snowballed into the larger politics. So for instance, Tambua was affected. Those were the days before the PDP primaries, and Atiku too. Remember deleting those tweets that he made on Deborah. A lot of people thinking that was going to affect his chances, and so the Owo killing too is, whether you like it or not, coming on the eve of the APC primaries. It's presidential primaries. Whether you like it or not, it's going to affect how the political parties are reacting to it, and of course says a lot about the direction of power. For instance, the story clearly saying that it puts the Northern Presidency in the air. But beyond that, beyond putting the Northern Presidency issue in the air, it also, the PDP, we have to find a way around the issues that, the APC is trying to actually bring up. Part of it is, how does the PDP, for instance, now deal with the possibility of APC producing a southern candidate? When that happens, APC will have bought into the whole idea that, look, or rather the prevailing idea that power should shift to the south. And now already the APC is getting a lot of praise for that. But when they were killing yesterday, you see the PDP still tying APC to the failures of security, saying that, look, APC has not done very well with the issue of security. So it doesn't really matter where APC is going to shift power to and everything, that they should own up to the crisis of security. And a lot of people have actually slammed the APC that whether it is the Owo crisis or the other kind of crisis that we're having and everything, the APC government has not done very well in the area of security. So now that leaves PDP too with the situation, because if as soon as the APC today in their primaries, maybe from the direction we're seeing, produce a southern candidate, of course that leaves the PDP with a very huge problem. How do they counter that? A lot of people think that Atiku will have to, former Vice President Atiku will have to wonder what to do with that. People suggesting that, well, getting a strong southern deputy vice president, running mate will help the situation. So, but who does he pick? A lot of people say if Peter Obi were still there, that would have been the answer to it, but Peter Obi is gone. So does he go for an Okowa? Does he go for an Udom Emmanuel? What does he do? Whatever he does, he needs to pick someone with the capacity to be able to rally the southern base, that can challenge what the APC is planning to do, which is to give it to a southerner. So that's the option before Atiku. So who does he pick? A lot of people say that, look, his best chances would be maybe someone like Udom Emmanuel or the other people that are there, but he has to just pick someone that has the capacity, someone that has got clear records. Udom Emmanuel, for instance, someone that's done well for a state. Some people say it's done very well. They acquired the Ibom Air thing. So some people think that that is the direction Atiku should take. But so the Owo killing is actually a game changer for the parties. While the PDP continuously hammer that it is APC, it is the fault of the APC, it's a security crisis. The APC itself is trying to say that, look, let's shift power to the south. And there are people who say that, look, that is the way to go. If you have a southern president in place, you will have done a lot in dealing with some of this crisis. Now, that is also an argument that is up there in the air. Will the southern candidates solve some of this problem? But the mood of the nation tends to suggest that. So today, depending on who the PDP, the APC, eventually produce the PDP, we have to find a very strong answer to it. Already, they have a northern candidate. They will have to look for a very, very competent person, maybe in the presence of someone like Udom Emmanuel, who is a governor, a sitting governor, also ran for office, to support or to be the running mate to, or else the idea of another presidency, yes, the war crisis has really dealt a serious blow on the possibility of that. These days reporting that. So it's a serious situation, and the way we look at crisis going forward, whether we like it or not, we have to look at the presidential elections, we have to look at who is going to, and no other time than now to worry about who is supposed to be the next president. This crisis, security crisis, have really brought it up, and that we need to really worry. And today, all eyes will be on the APC to see who they are producing as the candidate. Like I said, if that happens, the PDP will have to worry about who to pick as the running mate to the northern candidate that it has chosen.
Not only security is a challenge in Nigeria, Emmanuel, power is also a challenge. The Guardian says power sector collapse imminent. That's according to stakeholders. They've issued their warning. This day is also giving its own report about power issues. It could worsen. What more can we do? People, before now, the argument was get prepaid meters, and then lots of people got prepaid meters, but suddenly, where's the power? You pay and you just don't get power.
That's one of the questions this president asked. You remember in 2015 when he said, "Where is the power?" Well, 7 years, 8 years down the line, 7 years down the line, we're still asking the question, "Where is the power?" And it's sad that, you know, if you look at this, if you look at that report, again, you know, all sorts of things are attributed. In fact, even stakeholders are saying maybe it is the crisis of Forex that is causing it. But, you know, the federal government is saying that, well, it is the repair work they're doing in the installation that is causing the current collapse. A lot of Nigerians have given up on power, as simple as that. They now depend largely on other sources of energy. And whether you like it or not, nothing has actually, you know, put this government or this government on the spot, like its relationship to power. And it's done many things. They've changed leadership at the realms of the power ministry and all of that. That hasn't still helped the situation. Kenneth, like you pointed out, all sorts of things. And it's as if we are fighting the forces of darkness day and night. Nothing seems to be giving. And that is why I think these elections are very important, because as a matter of fact, the next president will have to be the president that will give us power, as simple as that. And a lot of people thinking that whether you like it or not, this seems to be an intractable problem. This government, alongside all the other problems that APC has not been able to grapple with, the problem of security, it's also the problem of power. And it's done a lot to deal with the situation, but from all indication, it's failure all the way, total failure. And right now, giving more excuses where we're not having power in the polity. But that will not suffice. The people want power, and the economy is zero. Without power, you don't talk about production, you don't talk about even the very basic, microeconomy, individuals engaging in day-to-day work. Yes, you can't do anything about it because there's no power.
Right, let's talk more politics. We'll go to nation now. Consensus candidate, our best option. Buhari is insisting on that. Actually, he says, you know, to prevent the unwieldy nature of having so many aspirants and then the fallout from some of them not getting the ticket and getting angry afterwards. There are some things I didn't read earlier. He said, Akeredolu to Lawan, Bello, step down. Umahi denies stepping down. I'm still in the race, says Yahaya Bello. Tight security around a go square. Okay, so let's deal with the thinking of the president.
Well, you know, at the weekend too, there were all sorts of reports that the president, but what the president have always said is that, look, the APC need to get someone that is formidable, you know, the credible character that is going to, because they're also worried about, like I said, the PDP candidacy, whether you like it or not. They have to find someone that can match up with Atiku. So, and that's why you have all this series of meetings. And I can assure you, indeed, that the president is having sleepless night over this. Who do they pick? And if it has to come down to consensus, and you have to be careful, like you said, if you pick someone, you know, whether you like it or not, the other people might be angry. So it is acrimony. So it is the Atiku challenge. And now that Atiku too is shopping for a running mate, and both of them are going to be like a formidable force to match up with the APC, you will understand why the president keeps talking about the day to come up with someone that is formidable. And if consensus is the way to go, they might have to try that. And
then the Western aspirants, they sit together to bring out one person. Still, they have not agreed yet. All right. Thank you, Emmanuel Bello. That's the press briefing.